we have a wonderful state with wonderful outdoor opportunities. I realized just how good we have it when I saw through the eyes of someone who lives worlds away and doesn't have nearly the resources we've become used to. 2 years ago, I met a true outdoorsman from Lyon, France. Let me introduce you to my friend Raoul. I'm sure you've heard that old saying that if you make one good friend in life, you're very fortunate. Now, I found that friend in a very unlikely way. My friend is Raoul Desprez, and he's from Lyon, France. I met him 2 years ago when he came to visit my close friend and neighbor, Yvette, his daughter. Yvette came to the United States in 1970 and has made the U.S. her new home. Now, as you can see, we have a lot in common. Now here comes the hard part. I got to try to squeeze his 10 lifetimes into 10 minutes. At 14, Raoul was an apprentice in a pastry shop in Paris. He later became a chef. But in 1949, when a friend told him a chef was needed for an expedition, Raoul applied and was hired as chef for the French Polar Expedition from 1950 through 1952. This expedition was launched by the French government and would take the crew to the North and South Poles and Greenland. The scientists aboard would study, among other things, the ozone layer, weather, and other related studies. Adapting to this harsh and unforgiving environment was no easy task, according to Raoul. During his stay, they would often hunt seal for food. Their hide was used to make boots. Nothing went to waste. Another challenge was becoming used to darkness for months at a time. Raoul told me that at times the men were so depressed that they wouldn't talk for days. One night there was a fire in part of their encampment. All they could do is stand back and watch their valuable supplies go up in smoke. Well, you always got to have some time to play, and occasionally there was time for a snowball fight. Now here, during a celebration, Raoul bakes a cake that's a model of their camp.
It's very hard for me to recollect my earliest memory of Dad. I have so many wonderful memories of him. I always question him about his life and experiences such as life in Paris during the German occupation and what he went through to survive and fight for freedom. However, what attracted me the most are his story of his trips around the world, his stay in Greenland and South Pole. After his return, we left for Morocco, where we stayed for about 15 years. He was hired as a chef in a wonderful 4-star restaurant in Casablanca on the Atlantic Ocean. He was fully responsible for the restaurant and the public pool. After about 2 years in Morocco, his love for archery began. He is now 77 years old, back in France, and still very much involved in competitive archery.
Now, Raoul and I have a tiny bit of a language barrier, but we always seem to understand each other. And Raoul and I are going back out in the woods. I tagged out during muzzleloader, so that's the reason I'm not camouflage today, but going back out, we got a good spot where we know some deer are coming by. Raoul's got 2 days left to hunt. Raoul, it's good to have vous in America. Thank you for chasser with moi.
Yes. C'est avec un grand plaisir. Et toute ma vie, je me souviendrai de ce moment.
And you come back.
My life. You come back?
You come back next year. Chasser again.
Possible.
It's possible?
It's possible.
Okay. Maybe I'll come. Maybe moi come to France to chasser with Raoul.
Yes.
We'll go to Morocco and have record.
So you send my, je sais pas comment on dit le fils.
Fish.
Send my fils, my boy.
Oh, okay. I'm your son.
You send my boy.
That's good. That's good. So maybe Kentucky and Phil will go to Morocco and hunt peccary. Well, don't count on it, but it could happen. Let's go. On y va?
On y va.
On y va. Let's go. Well, we went from the woods to the kitchen where Raoul fixed some wonderful venison. He fixed a bouillon sauce with wine, and he poured it over the venison. It was the most wonderful thing I ever put in my mouth. As I took Raoul for drives through the country, and he noticed all the deer and turkey, all the wild game in Kentucky, he told me in France that there was nothing like this, that they hardly ever got to hunt, ever saw any game. Made me realize just how fortunate we are. I also feel very fortunate to have met Raoul. We stay in contact, and one day I hope to visit him in his native France. I am very proud to call Raoul mon ami, my friend.